What's going on, guys? Aaron Goldsten here, and in this video, as promised, we're going to dive right into the content. 5 ways to produce money out of thin air. And some of these things might sound kind of simple and easy, and then of course there will be other things that you may not have thought of. I just ask that you keep an open mind, because you can use any of these 5 ways to get a lot of money very quickly without needing any money to do things like pay off debt, to start businesses, to fund projects, to kind of do whatever it is you want to do. So if you're going to go the way of starting a business or using the money for an invention or something like that, there is an investor. Finding investors. A lot of people think that finding investors is hard, or using investors is hard, or getting investors to invest in your idea is hard. And the opposite couldn't be true. So I want you to think about this. Imagine that there is, I know this guy, he's worth over $500 million, and he's an investor. So he's worth about $550 million, and his goal is to be a billionaire. That's all he talks about. He talks about how he wants to be a billionaire. What he does is he finds people to invest in. He finds people with ideas or people with existing businesses, and then he gives them money to grow their business for a piece of the business. This is like what he does. He spends about a third of his time doing this. He spends a third of his time with like his existing businesses, a third of his time with his family, and a third of his time finding new people to invest in. Because he doesn't want to start a business. He doesn't want to do the work. He actually started a business a while ago that he ended up selling for $300 million. He doesn't want to go through that. He wants to leverage people's skills and ideas and talents and have them use him for his money and make money off that. So it's easy to find investors. There are people out there, it's not just him. There are lots of people out there who are actively looking for people to give money to. You can get in touch with these investors and get them to give you money for projects. A couple good websites to check out is Gus.com and angelsden.com. You can go on there if you have a business, if you have a product, if you have an idea. It's free for you to create an account. And you can have investors just start throwing money at you. And you can start this from the comfort of your home. Number 2, Gofundme.com. So Gofundme.com is a place you can go to, you can use it to get money for anything. So investors is something you start a business with. You can use Gofundme.com to get money for anything. It's for anything. You could use it to pay off credit card debt. I saw this person, they had a neck tattoo, and they were raising money to remove the neck tattoo, and they raised like $3,000 in like a week of whatever, to go towards a surgery to remove a neck tattoo. There's people that have health problems or that are in bad financial situations that use it. I had a buddy of mine that used this site to get $1,000 to buy an information product. There's products out there online, and I actually have some of information products like this that that teach you specific things that can help you get an end result unbelievably fast while skipping the learning curve. They're incredibly effective and work incredibly well as long as you get the right ones. There are scams out there, but there are very legit. Once you find someone, the trick is to stumble across the right person that can actually teach you something legit. And that's done it themselves and has used the skills themselves to make money. But so my buddy, and it wasn't even my product. This was a few years ago. He got $1,000 from the site to buy this product that he wanted. He don't have to pay the people back. He didn't have to do anything or write them a letter or a thank you letter or anything like that. He just went to GoFundMe.com for free. He made an account and got $1,000. Number 3 is family. Now I told you guys some of these will sound simple. If you need money, or if you're in a place where you need money, family is a place to turn to. There have been countless times where people have turned to family for money, either if they're in a situation or they have an idea and they need money. I'm going to share with you a story of someone that borrowed money from his family and ended up growing a business, and you have heard of the business. Number 4 is you can sell stuff you don't need or use anymore. It'd be very easy for you to, oh, there's some statistic. It's like girls that buy shoes, like 67% of the shoes girls buy, they don't even wear. And I'm a guy, but there is definitely stuff in my closet I bought that I've never worn. I bought it, and when I was buying it, I was like, oh, I'll wear that sometime. I've never bought it. My style's changed. I could take all that stuff. I could list it on eBay. I could sell it somewhere else, right? And you could make money quickly just selling stuff you don't need or use anymore. So there is this guy named Jeff, and he started this business in his garage. And he needed some funds to start this business. So he went to his family, and he said, he said, hey, I'm trying to do this thing. Would you guys give me some money? I'm trying to do this thing on the internet. His dad asked what the internet was, and they ended up giving him the money. They were investing in him, not in his idea, because they didn't even know what the internet was. He got the business going. It needed a little bit more money to really pick up, so he ended up getting an investor. He gave a piece of his business away to an investor for some money. The guy's name is Jeff Bezos. Now that name might not mean anything to you, but he is the founder of Amazon, and he currently is worth over $66 billion with a B. $66 billion. He used 2 of these strategies. Borrowed money from his family and found an investor. Now finally, you can trade a skill for money. So this works really, really, really well if you want to get wealthy and you want to start a business. So about, how many years ago was it? About 4 or 5 years ago now, I started a detail shop. And I didn't even know what a detail shop was when I was looking into it. But a detail shop is just a place that you give fancy car washes. So there's like a place down the street from me that like for 15 or 20 bucks they wash your car. It takes them like 15 minutes. Well, you can go places and pay like 300 bucks, and they'll do a car wash that takes like 3 hours. It's a very detailed car wash for your car. So I started one of those. And I had a business going at the time that was doing over $100,000 a year. So for me to start the business, it costed me $7,000. So I took $7,000 out of that business that I had that was doing $100,000 a year, and I put it into this detail shop business. I partnered up with a guy. I actually partnered up with 2 guys, but one of the guys I partnered up with, he knew everything there was about detailing cars. He knew how to detail them. He knew how to get detailers. He knew how to teach people to detail. He knew how to run a detail business. He knew how to get cars. He had good relationships with car owners, not car owners, with different places that sell cars. Because a lot of times what cars do is if you go to the car lot and you trade in your car, those places that you trade in your car, they get those cars detailed before they sell them. So they would outsource it to us. So we started one of those. I put up $7,000. My other business partner put up $7,000. This other guy, though, didn't put up any money, but he had a skill. So because of that, we gave him a third of the business. I owned a third of the business. I put up $7,000. I was an investor at this point. This other guy put up $7,000. And the third guy didn't put up a penny. But he had a skill. And 6 months from there, 6 months after we started that business, we were all making $100,000 a year in profit. So that means I was bringing home $100,000 a year in profit. That was after expenses. That was after all the employees were paid out. That was after, I have formulas for putting certain amounts of money away, and you got to have a certain amount of money you put away in different accounts when you own a business, which you can learn about in other training videos. But after all that, I was bringing home over $100,000 a year. It was over $2,000 a week, which was pretty nice, right? Now I had 2 businesses that were running on autopilot making $100,000 a year. So you can trade your skills for money. So with that said, hopefully you guys got some value from this video.